Hello again. Welcome to Module 3 of the Understanding Depression mini-series. I'm proud of you for making it here. Before we dive into the content, how was last week's homework assignment? You were asked to journal for 10 minutes about what resonated for you in the content about diagnosis. Feel free to pause the video and share in the YouTube comments or email me with some of your reflections. Just note if you comment on YouTube, it will be public. Today, we'll talk about the biology of depression. As a disclaimer, there's still a lot that we don't know about depression, and it's a subject of ongoing research. First of all, it's important to know that if a close family member, like a parent or sibling, has depression, you're 2 to 3 times as likely to also struggle with depression. This is due to genetics, but things like your childhood experiences can also impact whether you struggle with depression. Life experiences can also affect depression. For example, in baby rats, if they're not nurtured by their mother, that can make them more likely to develop depression-like behaviors when they get stressed. So the analogy here is not being cared for by your mother can make it harder for you to handle stress. This shows how things in the environment can affect how our genes work. There are also changes in the brain that occur in depression. When you're depressed, the areas of your brain that manage stress and negative emotions may be more active than they should be. This can cause symptoms like feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or sad. Many people who are depressed also struggle with making decisions and having brain fog, which may be linked to lower activity in the area of the brain responsible for thinking and planning. We also see reductions in the brain's ability to learn and change. This can make it more difficult to develop new and healthier ways of coping and being. Sleep is something that is often disrupted in depression. A lack of sleep upsets the body's natural sleep cycle, which can cause problems with many of the brain's natural chemicals. A lack of sleep can also make your emotions feel more intense and make it harder to manage negative emotions. Having regular sleep habits, like a regular bedtime and wake up time, can help improve your sleep. Avoiding technology, especially social media, right before bed, can also help you get better sleep. You've probably heard about serotonin and depression. Serotonin is a chemical that transmits messages through the brain. It's normally responsible for inhibiting pain, processing emotions, and helping with your social life. Serotonin can be affected by stress, which is something we see more of in depression. This can cause negative emotions like excessive self-blame and guilt. Dopamine is another important brain chemical that's responsible for motivation and reward. And depression is thought to be responsible for the inability to experience pleasure and changes in appetite. Stress can also affect dopamine levels, contributing to depression. Some researchers think that depression is like having faulty wiring in the brain. When certain areas of the brain cannot effectively communicate, it can cause major issues with processing emotions. Essentially, negative emotions become overwhelming and they cannot be effectively handled by the area of the brain that normally helps with emotion regulation. When this happens repeatedly, it gets reinforced, making it more difficult to overcome. This understanding can help clinicians like myself find good treatments for depression. I hope it's also insightful for you if you're struggling. Early childhood stress can cause lasting issues with emotion regulation and brain development. Scientific studies show that early life stress makes people more sensitive to stress later in life, so that life's challenges can feel even more threatening and upsetting. Thankfully, the brain has the ability to change and grow, offering hope for those that have been affected by difficult childhoods. Treatments like ketamine-assisted psychotherapy and microdosing can help the brain to change and grow, offering a new path for people struggling with depression. Okay, that's all for today. Nice job making it through this video. And your homework assignment is to meditate for 1 minute each day. Don't overcomplicate it. Just sit down, turn on a 1 minute timer on your phone, close your eyes, and tune into what you're feeling and what comes up. All right, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.